Aloha everyone, my name is Nicole Goya and I am here today to show you an example of a poorly designed Laulima lesson page. I will point out flaws and provide suggestions so that you may learn more about what makes a good lesson page. And the components of this example will be evaluated using our certification task criteria that was designed for the Spring 2023 Online Teaching Basics OTB training. Let's begin. I created a lesson page for the first week of a mindfulness course in order to demonstrate positive and negative educational design aspects. First, we require an introduction. This includes text relating to the learning objectives of the week. Because this is the first week of the course, it might be best to give an overview of the course description and give students a feel for what they are expecting throughout the semester. Next, the learning objectives need to be here. Make sure that you're using Bloom's taxonomy verbs to detail your expectations of students. This week we have understand, apply, and identify. These fall in the lower categories of Bloom's taxonomy, which I'm going to share with you folks now. You can see it in the bottom three. If you want to challenge students a little more and test their mastery of the subject, you want to pull verbs from analyze, evaluate, and create. And because this is the first week, it's okay if your learning objectives are lower level. The students haven't engaged with the content much yet. Okay, going back to our lesson page. There is supposed to be a checklist here. It's okay if you have extra content for students to better understand the concepts for the week, but you need to have a checklist in order to help students when it comes to the assignments that they have to complete by the end of the week. Okay. The next part is learning materials. These learning materials, they fit the criteria because they fulfill one of the learning objectives for the week. Specifically, let's go back. Identify major thinkers. So I put 3 resources here coming from 3 major thinkers in mindfulness. This lesson would be a little better if there was a rubric for the assignment, meditate and record, in which students record their meditation sessions in a Google document. They would also benefit from an example of a good journal entry or bullet point lists of requirements like a rubric. Another idea would be to include an activity related to mindfulness to help students better understand the topics that were introduced during the week. And finally, make sure that your linked files and your embedded content is accessible. So PDF should be screen reader friendly, highlightable, and searchable. And your video should have edited, accurate captions for those with limited hearing. Now, moving on to the assignments, we ask that you create a forum, an assignment, and a quiz. So starting with the forum, it must be created in the discussions tool before linking it to your lesson page. Be sure to choose a topic question that is related to your learning objectives and content for the week. I'm going to open this one up. We highly recommend choosing open-ended questions so that students can have unique answers and they can provide meaningful comments on others' posts. So examples would be analysis or personal connections. This is a prompt that I created. Going back to the lesson page, we are going to look at the assignment now. So the assignment also needs to be created in the assignments tool in Laulima, and then you would link the assignment to your lesson page. And be sure to create instructions that relate to your learning objectives and also challenge the students. For this pretend course, I chose to ask students to meditate daily and then keep track of their sessions in a Google document. This is a direct application of mindfulness. So I'll just open it to show you folks the prompt. Okay, those are the instructions I provided, detailed instructions on how to meditate according to how we did it in our class, and then things that should be included in their entries. Okay, and then the last for the assignments is the quiz. Which is here. Make sure that your quiz has at least 3 questions, and one of your questions should be something other than multiple choice. The quiz that I created was based on major thinkers, which was all the resources that you saw. And then for images, I have two images on this lesson page. This one is a decorative one, and this one is informative. It's explaining different parts of mindfulness that we'll cover throughout the course. If you would like to include more images throughout your lesson page, that's completely fine. Keep in mind the aesthetic quality of your lesson page. Be sure to not overcrowd it with too many graphics, especially GIFs, and include alternative text for all of your images to improve accessibility. Hyperlinks are also part of the certification task criteria, and they are useful because students can access web pages or documents without having to see an entire URL address in front of them. Screen readers also tend to read the entire URL address if it's on your lesson page. This is cumbersome and confusing for sight-limited folks. So we'd like you to ensure that you have 3 or more hyperlinks, and the hyperlinks to your assignments and resources also count here. Your lesson page should also include an embedded video. There is none on this page. Embedded videos are another convenient way for students to view learning materials related to the week's content right here on Laulima. You could also embed an introduction video, which gives us a segue to the final criterion. Last but not least, your lesson page must have a screencast video. This lesson page does not have one. A screencast video is a recording of your screen while you talk in the background. If you would like to include your face in the corner, that's fine. This video also needs to be uploaded to your Hawaii.edu Google account YouTube channel, and the captions must be corrected. Okay. That's all for today. Please feel free to email the DLI team at cssop@hawaii.edu with further questions if you would still like assistance in completing your certification task. We look forward to seeing your lesson page on Laulima. Thank you for your time.